Breaking down Keep Me Company, part 12, the grand finale, Jazz and the Porjects. Man, a record just summing everything up that we just went through on this entire album, you know? Closing it out, the bookend. And that's always what the last record is supposed to do in my catalog. And yeah, this is one, I just had this vision of what it would be like if you just opened up the window in the Porjects and just looked out and you just saw a jazz band, a 5-piece jazz band in the middle of the Porjects just playing for no reason, right? In the middle of an empty day, nobody outside. Here we go. Open-minded, like the 24/7s that redefined it. 24/7 is a 24-hour store. We call them the 2-4s or the 24/7s, you know, it's a 24-hour bodega. Open-minded like the 24/7s that redefined it. You got enough army to bear arm with the timing. Hugging on a clock like you John Moran out the lining and Vince Girardi climbing. 24-hour store, you got enough army to man that, right? The store's open 24 hours, but if you outside moving, you like, yo, we got enough manpower to handle that, to be in front of the store 24 hours and make sure nobody is jumping in that and getting in front of that. These are all more of those demons and things we talked about throughout that can have you stuck in a space where you're ignoring growth. You got enough army to bear arms with the timing. Bear arms, army, bear arms, also bear arms, click, clack. Hugging on a clock like you John Moran out the line. And if we talking timing, a clock, bear arms, Grizzlies, John Morant plays for the Grizzlies. Hugging on a clock like you John Moran out the line. John Morant was allegedly going in the line and getting it and things was happening and these are things that they said was going on with him at a certain space in his career. So now we talking bear arms, Grizzly, John Morant plays for the Grizzlies, bear, timing, Vince Girardi climate. Vince Girardi, Charlie Brown Christmas album, greatest Christmas album of all time. And when you think of that, you think the winter, right? So I'm saying all the stuff that's happening is happening in the winter. It's happening in Vince Girardi climate. I'm just here for realignment. The straight and narrow path that was parallel to colliding. You're on a straight and narrow path, but you could collide at any moment and be off that straight and narrow path. You're trying to walk a straight and narrow path, but anything could throw you off that. The straight and narrow path that was parallel to colliding. My pennies on the gas, my penny ones, not these of course, but my penny Hardaways, you know, that I live and die for. My penny's on the gas, but if I'm jumping out the ride, then I'm self-taught immune to the creases that they was hiding. I don't fold to the confinement at all. Meaning if it gets sticky, the situation get crazy, I know how to still be straight and never fold. Just like I know how to make sure my pennies don't crease if I got to jump out the ride. So I'm being literal and figurative and using the pennies as the metaphor, right? My pennies on the gas, but if I'm jumping out the ride, then I'm self-taught immune for the creases that they was hiding. I don't fold in the confinement at all. And all it take of us is everything they take from us. Told us not to write down the recipes when they apron us, right? They told us in the slavery and segregation days, they didn't want us to have what they had when it came to their delicacies, when it came to their recipes, when it came to the food, right? They gave us the scraps, right? Leading us to cook without measuring was the gate for us. Keep that, gatekeeping. We had the gate, now we got to gatekeep all these recipes, the macaroni and cheese, rice and peas, cornbread, fried chicken, catfish, collard greens. Now y'all want that. Now y'all want that, you know? Leading us to cook without measuring. If you know Big Mama, you don't measure, you just go off love. You know what I mean? Leading us to cook without measuring is the gate for us. Keep that. And only at the repast can they plate with us. Only at the repast when it's a funeral and it's too late because it's dead. Now y'all can get a plate because it's dead, right? Like we kept that as long as we needed to, right? Like, and the repast is where you get the food after a funeral. Keep that. And only at the repast can they plate with us. Mine was in a styrofoam I could box up to go with. Like, I need one to go. Double that. I need 2, matter of fact, because this food good. I need 2 joints when I leave the repast. Double that. Like how they come with 2 to dump a 4. Same way you double cup to dump 4 ounces in, right? I never have and never will. I never did a double cup, 4 ounces. I never did none of that. Doubled it like how they come with 2 to dump a 4 and never have, never will. But I respect the way they coded while still trying to talk about their cherry fago motion. I respect that Houston, Texas culture. I respect what they built. But at the same time, I'm trying to talk them out of that because they lost a lot of soldiers and a lot of icons and figures due to the double cup. And you don't really need that, right? So out of all love and respect, I'm trying to talk you out of that. Talking about they cherry fago motion, ride with a motive. So when it's time, shit, at least you ain't dying to open, right? Like At least if you gotta go, let it go. Let it be for something real, not for a double cup. If you gotta go, let it be for something real that you fought for, pushed for. You lived life to the fullest. You grew old, right? Ride with a motive. So when it's time, shit, at least you ain't dying to open. Open-minded, like the stores I described in the open. I'm going back to the 24 hours, right? The bodegas. Open-minded, like the stores I described in the open. The closing remarks that left you deciding between a trip to Mecca or a trip to Bethel. It goes back to the beginning when I said I talked about Jehovah's Witnesses in the hall and talking about the nation, right? And my interest in both, which is a huge yin and yang, of course, right? Deciding between a trip to Mecca or a trip to Bethel in line with the heathens. And if it's like that, then shit is like that. I got jazz vinyl older than civil rights acts. Like, think about the fact that there's jazz vinyl that's older than the Civil Rights Act. Wow, when you think about it, you know? Pitch you a light pack. I could pitch you a light pack. The good fight, back to that good fight. The good fight deep in the jungle where pistols are fight back. You fighting a good fight for your people, they out there letting it go. And you could catch one just for trying to save your people, like I spoke about earlier in the album, right? With the Audubon Ballroom and fighting for your own kind, hoping they applaud you. The good fight deep in the jungle where pistols are fight back. I show up late to a show, they like, hey, yo, where's Spike at? It's like they looking at me like I'm Spike Lee. Like, instead of saying where's Sky, they're like, yo, where's Spike at? Because I'm painting these films, these movies for you, right? The good fight deep in the jungle where pistols are fight back. I show up late to a show, they like, hey, yo, where's Spike at? The closest one without a bloodline, all of how it does mine. Nightmares over Jakes when Snoop was calling them one time. Turned it up religiously. Breaking down the accents and all of the distance in between. Being a kid having nightmares about police. Snoop, who was the biggest thing at the time, was calling them one time. We called them the Jakes in New York. He was calling them one time. Turned that up religiously. Even though it was a different dialogue, we still got it. And we was bumping that religiously. And then we breaking down the accents and all of the distance in between New York and LA and all that, right? Alone in this fight for power, we Carlton Rittenauer. Carlton Rittenauer is Chuck D. Alone in this fight for power, we Carlton Rittenauer. Fight the powers that be, like MTV put bands around us. MTV banned a Public Enemy video, but MTV would also put bands around you, right? Like, fight the powers that be, like MTV put bands around us. A BAN or a BAND. Yellow taping like Off-White in this fight, right? If it's banned, it's blocked off. Yellow taping like Off-White in this fight. Appreciation's like good work. It might have a pinch of flour, right? Like, you might get your flowers. You might get a pinch of flour. When it comes to appreciation, you might get a little bit. Same thing like good work. If it's really, really good work, it should only have a little pinch of flour, right? Like, you know, like it shouldn't be stepped on but so much if it's really, really good work. And that's for that whole other side. In the 25th hour, at the end, when it's almost too late, it's the 25th hour, right? In the 25th hour, they told us what the key is now. When it's almost too late, now they telling us how to win. In the 25th hour, they told us what the key is now. Money, power, respect. I'm trying to turn the key around. I go all the way back to the beginning of the album when I talked about money, power, respect on Home Away from Home. In the 25th hour, they told us what the key is now. Money, power, respect. I'm trying to turn the key around. Respect, power, and money. I'm reversing it based on what it adjusts like, based on where you get what at. Serving bass out the back, the building lean like an upright bass, right? It's making the bass is making the whole building metaphorically and figuratively lean like an upright bass. And speaking of a bass, Parents Cool as Ron Carter, one of the greatest bass players ever, jazz musician. Parents Cool as Ron Carter, jumping off the stoop at how you cosplaying Sean Carter, Lucky Lefty Arm Barter. He always called himself Lucky Lefty back in the day. Now you pretending to be him, you want to be him because you think you have what it takes to be him off that stoop. Lucky Lefty Arm Barter. The block mayor held mother sister tight and said, I hope you win the wars that you ain't tell no one you fighting. So you look at the mayor, do the right thing, the block mayor, mother sister Ruby D in the window. The block mayor held mother sister tight and said, I hope you win the wars that you ain't tell no one you fighting. Reason beyond measure, we be measured in abundance. Effortless usually takes all of the effort you could come with. Like, the irony of that, right? Effortless usually takes all of the effort you could come with. Singing to the choir, been the move, no assumptions. The only thing that sounds better muted is the trumpet. The trumpet, the harmony mute, right? So don't mute anything, don't be quiet. Like, let that go. Sing these praises, sing these applause, sing for the people, fight for the people. The only thing that sounds better muted is the trumpet. And I'm left to stick around and describe it and give it logic. front row view of a project throughout the projects. Connected to a brownstone and English Tudor houses and drop top 2 doors where they tutor you around it. You know, I lived in the P's, I lived in a brownstone, and I lived in an English Tudor. So I'm walking through all this and this weight and this responsibility that I have to carry. And I'm left to stick around and describe it and give it logic. Front row view of a project throughout the projects. Connected to a brownstone and English Tudor houses and drop top 2 doors where they tutor you around it. They drive you around and tutor you on how to do X, Y, Z and how to live within these demons and these desires. And it's on you if you want to see that through or not. Jazz in the project.